Welcome to The Explainer. Let's just jump right in, because today we're doing a highly focused, analytical breakdown of literally one of the most powerful life operating system concepts ever developed. We're going to dissect a core principle from Stephen R. Covey's legendary framework, The Circle of Influence. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by the state of the world, your career, or just the sheer volume of news on your feed, and honestly, who hasn't, this explainer is going to give you the exact mental model you need to finally take back your power.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the trap of concern, then the circle of influence, the psychology of control, some real-world masters, and finally, we'll wrap it up with your daily action plan.
Yeah, before we go any further, I want you to really think about something for a second. What are your three biggest worries today? Like, right now? Is it the cost of living? Maybe a looming project at work? Or the rapid evolution of technology? Get those three things clearly in your mind right now, because they're going to be the test subjects for the mental model we're about to build together.
All right, part one, the trap of concern and the overwhelm in our modern world.
We really have to acknowledge right off the bat that modern life is incredibly noisy, and quite frankly, it's kind of designed to keep us constantly on edge. The economy, politics, market volatility, maybe your boss's unpredictable behavior, and sweeping technological changes like the crazy rise of AI. Covey calls all of these things our circle of concern. These are the things we naturally worry about. But here's the brutal reality. Our mental energy is constantly being pulled toward these massive systemic issues that we simply cannot directly dictate. You can't personally change the national interest rate today, right? You definitely can't reprogram your boss's personality. When we fixate here, we fall into a massive trap.
And that trap? Well, it comes with a huge price tag in the form of opportunity cost. In economics, that's just the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one specific alternative is chosen. So let's apply this to your daily life. If you spend 2 hours complaining about the economy or venting about the terrible job market, the opportunity cost is the 2 hours you didn't spend learning a new skill, upgrading your resume, or building your network. Complaining isn't just venting. It actually costs you your future.
The simple, profound truth here is that attention is a scarce resource. It's a finite, investable asset. Every single ounce of attention, every little bit of emotional bandwidth you spend on anger, frustration, and blaming external circumstances, well, that's energy directly stolen from real, actionable change. You are literally bankrupting your own potential by spending your attention in the wrong place.
Moving on to Section 2, the Circle of Influence. This is the paradigm shift.
This is exactly where we pivot from external anxiety to internal control. Inside that massive, overwhelming circle of concern we just talked about is a much smaller but infinitely more powerful circle. The core difference here lies entirely on your mindset. A reactive mindset is completely scattered. It focuses on the bad boss, the bad economy, the terrible circumstances. It's this anxious state where life basically just happens to you. But the proactive mindset, now that is grounded. It focuses entirely on preparation, personal skill, and deliberate decisions. A proactive person looks at a bad economy and asks, okay, so what can I do today to make myself indispensable? They focus exclusively on their circle of influence.
I love to think of it this way. Scattered sunlight just warms things up, but focused through a lens, it starts a fire. When your attention is totally scattered across global politics, macroeconomic trends, and what random strangers think of you on the internet, you're just generating mild, useless heat, mostly in the form of stress, by the way. But when you pull all that limited attention together and focus it strictly through the lens of what you can actually control, you create explosive, undeniable results.
That brings us to Section 3, the psychology of control, and why this actually works.
Now, we aren't just talking about motivational fluff here. We need to ground this in established behavioral science. Enter the internal locus of control. This is a concept heavily researched by psychologist Julian Rotter way back in the 1950s, and man, it holds up brilliantly today. It's the psychological belief that your own decisions and actions directly impact your life outcomes. Rotter's findings were crystal clear. People who possess a strong internal locus of control are drastically more successful, they're significantly more confident, and they take on far more responsibility. By actively choosing to operate inside your circle of influence, you are quite literally rewiring your brain to develop this exact psychological trait.
Section 4, Real-World Masters. Let's look at some extreme applications of influence.
I really want to anchor this theory in reality by looking at someone who absolutely mastered this when the odds were entirely, completely against them. 27. That stark number represents the years Nelson Mandela spent in prison. Think about that for a second. For 27 years, Mandela was entirely stripped of external control. He couldn't control his location, his diet, his schedule, or his captors. His circle of concern was enormous. It was literally the fate of an entire nation. But his external circle of influence? Practically zero.
Yet despite all of that, his focus remained fiercely internal. His own thoughts, his own character, his own reactions. Despite immense physical and systemic restrictions, Mandela utilized the ultimate internal influence. He realized that while they could lock up his body, there was no way they could dictate his response to the situation. By mastering this tiny internal circle of influence, he maintained his personal power, eventually expanding that influence to change the entire world.
And this brilliantly illustrates how we can apply that exact same logic to our own lives right now. Let's cleanly break down a modern anxiety we all know: job hunting. The circle of concern is the bad economy and the tough competition. Focusing there, that just breeds anxiety. Shifting to the circle of influence means improving your CV and practicing interviews. That breeds action. Or take AI. You can panic about AI taking over jobs, which is totally out of your hands. Or you can spend that exact same hour learning how to use AI and adapting your skills. Shifting your focus creates immediate, tangible power. Here's a really great business example. Back in the late 90s, the internet was this chaotic, unpredictable frontier. Literally nobody knew where it was going. Jeff Bezos couldn't control the dot-com crash or the rapid evolution of web protocols. Instead, his focus was absolute. Low prices, fast delivery, more selection. He navigated massive uncertainty by obsessing only over the customer desires he could directly control and actually deliver on. He ignored all the external noise and built an empire entirely within his circle of influence.
Finally, Section 5. Your daily action plan for building this muscle.
Because look, this isn't just theory. We need specific, actionable exercises you can implement today to start rewiring your mindset. So here's your homework in 3 logical steps. Step 1, actually grab a piece of paper, draw a large circle, and then a smaller one inside of it. Write down those 10 current worries we talked about earlier, put them where they belong. Step 2, for every single item, ask yourself the magic question: what can I do today? Write a specific action next to each. And step 3, convert just one complaint into a direct action. If you're mad about a messy house, don't complain, spend 5 minutes cleaning. It's absolutely crucial to visually separate what you can and cannot dictate.
Now for the heavy hitter, the 24-hour no complaint challenge. I challenge you to just count your complaints for 1 full day. Honestly, don't even try to stop them at first. Just tally them up. You are going to be utterly shocked to see just how much of your precious, scarce attention is wasted wandering around in the circle of concern. Awareness is always the first step to taking your power back.
Then we're going to bookend our day with one powerful question: what did I influence today? Make this your nightly bedtime routine. Instead of doom scrolling through the news, ask yourself this question: did you improve a skill? Did you react calmly to a really stressful email? Did you take care of your health? Continually reinforcing this question will solidly lock in your internal locus of control.
I want to leave you with this incredible Stoic mantra. Be extraordinary in what you can control. Don't waste energy on what you can't. It is that simple and it is that profound. Your effectiveness in life isn't determined by the circumstances you face, but by where you choose to shine your light. So looking at your life right now, where are you going to focus your lens today?